Some good news on the field as well. You tweeted this out. Wyatt Teller added to the Pro Bowl roster, so he joins Joel Bitonio, Nick Chubb, and Myles Garrett. So two of the Browns' offensive linemen, part of that Pro Bowl roster. It kind of goes to show you with four guys on the Pro Bowl roster, this roster is not far from being what would be considered a legitimate contending roster.
Yeah, I think that's right. And it's good, it's a good recognition for Wyatt Teller. He fought through a calf injury. I don't think he played as well as he had the previous 2 years, but is still, respected and still played at somewhat of a high level, and then gets to go with Joel and Myles and Nick, like you said. That's what I keep coming back to, Dave. When we talk about, how close is this roster, how close is this team, there's a lot of good players, right? And maybe they didn't live up to expectations or potential, and the team certainly did not. But you mentioned those four guys. You got Denzel Ward. Amari Cooper played at a really high level. David Njoku had a good year, and I think could continue to get better. There's Ethan Posick. Jack Conklin's a good player. There's good players on this roster and high-end talent on this roster. The Browns just need to make more of it.
Yeah, and the guys that are – there seems to be a gap. There aren't those guys that are just solid, dependable guys that do the job at the NFL level. That was what was missing. You had the high end, and you had guys that just weren't quite cutting it.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. And some depth issues, right, at certain positions. You saw them get into depth at linebacker due to all the injuries. Defensive tackle was never deep enough. Defensive end was probably not deep enough. So, yeah, you have – there's guys in the middle, but not a ton of them. I think a Taki probably fits there. And then you need your younger guys to take jumps, right? Whether that's JOK, Greg Newsome II, guys that you drafted high that start playing at that Pro Bowl level, because that, when you draft them there, that is at least some part of the expectation.